Welcome once again to Election 2023 update on TV360 Nigeria. I am Simisola Adigun. Elections have been disrupted in some states in Nigeria. In states such as Lagos, Abuja, Kogi, Taraba, Borno, as well as Akwa Ibom, videos of burnt ballot boxes and threats against voters went viral. At Igbokusu Town 2 and Itiosa area of Lagos State, some ballot boxes were broken while ballot papers were discarded. A similar situation was reported in Elegushi, Ikate area of Lekki Axis as hoodlums also attacked voters, preventing them from exercising their franchise, while 5 persons sustained injuries during an attack on a community in Gwoza local government area in Borno State. Suspected political thugs destroyed 24 ballot boxes in 8 polling units in Gwagwalada local government area of Abuja. The Kaduna State Governor Nasiru Ahmed El-Rufai has said that ballot boxes, beavers, machines and other utilities were snatched by suspected political thugs in the southern part of the state. The governor said this while addressing the media shortly after casting his vote at his polling unit in Unguwan, Sarki, Kaduna North local government area. The governor also decried the low turnout of women, unlike the previous election where women made up the majority of voters in the country. He further charged the electorate to vote wisely and ensure they vote for leaders who will stand by their promises if elected.
Up to the time I came here, everything has been going on smoothly. There have only been 3 incidents. Last night, a rice mill was attacked. The police is investigating. This morning, we got reports of 1 incident in southern Kaduna where beavers or ballot boxes were snatched, and in Soba where there was another incident of 2 ballot boxes being snatched. Of course, these are no incidents at all, because whether you snatch ballot boxes or beavers or not, these days it doesn't matter. The technology has gone beyond the primitive rigging system that the political actors are used to. But so far, everything has been peaceful. Very few incidents of electoral malpractice, and we are confident that this will be sustained.
The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmoud Yakubu, has said there were disruptions of elections in some polling units at Okota, Oshodi and Elegushi areas of Lagos on Saturday. Yakubu made this disclosure while briefing the media on Saturday evening as the voting exercises were concluded. The INEC chairman said the polling points that witnessed violence have been noted, while adding that other areas where elections took place would receive attention. INEC has also postponed elections in 141 polling units in Yenagoa, the capital of Bayelsa State, in the country's south-south region.
I would also like to say that in Edo State, we had a situation that we handled yesterday. One of the parties whose acronym is on the result sheet, but the logo is not on the ballot paper, in a federal constituency, after meeting with the stakeholders, the decision was taken, since the materials are intact, to countermand the election. So we have suspended the election for Esan North, Esan South, and Igweben. The ballot papers will be reprinted, and the election will now hold along with the state constituency elections on the 11th of March. That is in the next 2 weeks. We are determined that no Nigerian should and would be disenfranchised.
Well, joining me now for more analysis is journalist and political analyst Muyiwa Akintunde. Thank you very much for joining us, Muyiwa. Now, you've seen some of the videos of ballot snatching and attacks on voters. Now, did you expect this level of violence in today's polls?
Well, I must say that it's very sad because I thought that we are seeing better days. And this reminds what happened today reminded me of what happened several decades ago when the Western region had what we called the wet year. Wet year meaning that people were going from place to place and burning individual properties and government properties because of electoral dispute. Where I voted today, just about 2 or 3 polling units away, there was an incident of ballot box snatching. And that caused a lot of discomfort in that location. That's around Osho, the Shogule, where I voted today. And I've also monitored reports across the country. And it's so sad that we are beginning to have all of this, in our democracy when we think that we are making progress. And I had always believed that our political leaders should do the right thing, try to bring their supporters in, not preach violence, and not encourage it in any way or the other. Because if they are not encouraged it in one way or in one form or the other, what happened across in different parts of the country today wouldn't have happened. It's very, very regrettable and it's very shameful action.
All right, now, so we know that Nigeria operates, or INEC rather, operates the secret ballot system. But today, President Muhammadu Buhari revealed his voting choice. Now, does that in any way change, the voting system?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about the president's having to show his ballot paper after voting. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that's what I asked.
Yeah, I made some comments on that in some of the groups I belong to. If I were in the National Assembly, immediately we resume. I will call for I will start the process of impeaching the president for that action. But that action is a very, very serious electoral offense. By the Electoral Act, if you display your ballot paper after voting, you are going to be tried. If you are found guilty, you either go for 6 months or 500,000 naira fine. As president, he has immunity, so he can't be prosecuted until he leaves office by May 29. But we have the National Assembly doing the right thing. It should be an issue of an impeachment issue for the president, because we have advanced beyond having to do open ballot where where your neighbor or your wife or your friend, how he or she is voting. But now we have advanced to secret ballot, and I don't see any justification for the president to finish voting and then display that ballot. That is campaigning. A campaign was banned 24 hours before this election. So why would the president, number one citizen of Nigeria, go around doing things that suggest campaign? It's a very serious infraction, as far as I'm concerned.
All right, very well. Then, journalist and political analyst Moyewa Akin today, thank you very much for your insight and contribution. Moving on, today's presidential and National Assembly elections did not commence without initial hiccups in some areas. While electoral officers arrived early at some polling units, it was a different story at others as voters waited anxiously for the exercise to kick off. Our correspondent, Jide Olaniro, has some of the rest of the news.
Morning shows the day, as this aptly described the situation we saw at a few minutes to 8 o'clock in the morning at an electoral materials distribution center inside Bola Memorial Primary School, Abuli Onigbagbo Ikeja. INEC staff and other ad hoc staff are seen arranging electoral materials for onward transfer to different polling units, but time was of essence. At Ikeja Cantonment Polling Unit 08, voters were already apprehensive as there was no INEC official and electoral materials in sight.
So because I'm anticipating that nothing is going to really happen, so I got here maybe about 9. So I was a bit shocked because I thought that when I come here I'll just see INEC all set up, but all we had to do was, they said we should check our names there. Now we've checked our names and then we're just waiting for INEC. INEC is not here, and they said that they were going to start from 8 o'clock. So Why are they not here?
My perception was, for the fact that they had SMSs and set up stuff, they'll be very organized. I just came and I saw people clustering around the place, checking their names on the list, and we're still here waiting. We have not even seen anybody yet.
Other polling units we visited inside GRA Ikeja were a mix of anxiety and satisfaction. At polling unit 06 Dairy Farm Primary School Agege, INEC was commended for starting the exercise on time, as turnout by voters was higher compared to previous elections.
I'm impressed with the process. It has been peaceful, it has been orderly. I voted here in 2011 and there are a lot more people. So in 2011 when I voted here, there were just 2 polling units. Now there are 4. So that means that there's less apathy and more people are coming out to vote.
I have been here very early this morning and it's been peaceful from the start. We got here, we were asked to queue up, and we've been asked to be coming one after the other to come and do accreditations of our names, to know that our names are actually on the voters list. And after that, we were scanned to know that our pictures were it's the same with the one on our cards. And after that, we were asked to go and vote.
The story is different at polling unit 07 New Okoba Agege, as election did not start until noon, but the turnout was impressive.
We came out quite early from this unit, but the INEC officials came very late to this unit. So they were here around past 12, so it's not very impressive concerning the time at which they came out.
I think so far it's been peaceful, of course, and it's been cordial, but the only challenge is just having the INEC officials coming late. I think the INEC officials got here maybe around 11 or thereabouts, so voting exercise here didn't start about 12 until about 12 or there, about past 12. So for me, that's just the only where you have other polling units where they've even voted as far as their night is concerned. So that's the only limitation, but so far I think things has been really cordial. And
Lagos has over 6 million voters' cards collected cumulatively. It is hoped that the enthusiasm of voters to cast their ballot will enrich the country's democratic journey. Jide Olaniran, TV360 Nigeria.
In one of the most keenly contested general elections in the nation's history, more than 175,000 polling stations were scheduled to open at 8:30 a.m. with 87.2 million people who registered to cast their ballots. However, voting was delayed by hours at some polling units nationwide, leading to a slow start to the exercise. Electoral officers also arrived late to some of the polling centers, while the bimodal voters accreditation system BVAS malfunctioned at many centers. More details in this report. At exactly 7 a.m. on Saturday, polling units were declared open to citizens to choose the next president in the keenly contested election. After confirming their names and voting centers on the list provided, residents in Ikeja, Lagos State immediately headed to their respective polling units to cast their vote. Although the exercise was slated to commence at 7 a.m., residents had to wait extra hours due to the late arrival of polling officers. At Ward 049, some voters were not immediately accredited due to gender disparity, causing extra delay, despite several assurances by INEC on the efficiency of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS. Some female voters were registered as males on the system, despite the match in their names and pictures on the list and their permanent voters cards (PVCs). The issue was eventually resolved after calls were made to INEC senior officials by the electoral officers.
When I got there, so I handed in my voter's card. So he checked on the machine. The voter's card says female, but on their machine it says male. So I was told I was unable to vote yet. I should just hold on, that they would contact their senior INEC official or something. So I had to wait for about 20-30 minutes, and then the person came and then said, okay, as long as the face is shown as the same thing with the person there, I can vote. So that was how I was able to vote.
There was no error on the voter's card, the PVC. Everything read my name, my age, my address, and the sex, which is female. Later they pasted the registration card, or everybody, that poster where everybody's name was posted. We were asked to check. I checked, I saw my name, everything was correct. And when we got to the table, when it was my turn, they checked the printed out registration, voters register. My name was there, it was still female. But when they checked the machine, they now found out that they have turned me into a male. I insisted that I must vote because I was denied initially. They had to call their office later after some minutes, like 30 minutes. The official came to verify that they should check my name because I wasn't ready to go. They checked my name, checked my face, then because I was adamant, I was allowed to vote.
After casting their ballot, the residents expressed satisfaction for being able to exercise their franchise.
The officials, I would say, okay, I think they are doing a job well done because they gave us orientation. They addressed what we are to expect and what to do. But for the machine, it didn't capture me as a female. I don't know why. It's saying I'm a male. So for that, I would say they need to work on that. So, and then the environment seems safe. It's fine.
The officials, they are doing well. They have to follow all instructions so that they will not make mistakes and put themselves in problems. The area is very calm, no problem. The electorates are behaving very well. As you can see, we are all on queue and we are doing our civic duty.
Hours after casting his ballot along with his wife at Alausa, the presidential candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, commended residents of Ikeja for their peaceful conduct.
I was not behind schedule. I didn't observe INEC to be behind schedule. I don't. I wasn't there when they started. I met them already started, and it is going smoothly.
According to INEC, ballots will be counted at all polling units at the close of voting and transmitted electronically in real time to INEC's result viewing portal IREV, the first of its kind in Nigeria. Simisola Adugun, TV360, Lagos. Well, we'll take a break now, and when we return, more updates on election 2023. To stay with us.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
Welcome back to Election 2023. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says some of its operatives monitoring the presidential and National Assembly elections were attacked by political thugs on Saturday in Imo and Abuja. In the statement by EFCC spokesperson Wilson Owajaren, its operatives were attacked near the chief's place in Bwari Area Council in Abuja. The EFCC said the attack followed the arrest of a man for allegedly masterminding a well-orchestrated vote-buying procedure at the polling unit at Science Primary School, Bwari. Also in Imo, officers on election monitoring duty at Unit 001 Man Primary School behind Cherubim Junction were shot at by unknown persons. The attackers, who were inside two black Prado SUVs and one white Hilux outside the polling unit, were suspected to be involved in vote buying. Our correspondent Sophia Afolabi joins us live from Imo State. Thank you very much for joining us, Sophia. Now, give us your insights into some of the cases of electoral violence in Imo State.
All right. Good evening. So far, the election wasn't as very bad like we've speculated it to be. The election was kind of peaceful, though there are some places where we noticed some people were complaining due to the INEC officials went there at the polling unit is called Akwakuma Ward 1, 2, 3, 4. The INEC officials went on seats up until around 3 p.m. So the people there started agitating, and there were a little bit of social unrest, and they were complaining, and they even attacked some of the journalists that were on ground. They were hitting on the vehicles because they feel they've been disenfranchised, and they complained that the INEC officials that came twice told them that the polling unit they were assigned to wasn't the right place. So the people there actually weren't happy because no election took place. So basically, most of the places I went to, the local government, the election was peaceful. I went to Olapo, went to Atai Keduru, it was peaceful. Went to Ebima. It was a peaceful election. We didn't really notice anything like violence or social unrest apart from the one that happened at Akwakuma College of Education. Yeah.
So I'd like to know, the INEC chairman had announced that the voting exercise will continue in the state tomorrow. Now, can you confirm that there are people who did not actually cast their votes today?
Yes, there are people. Like I said in Ahuja, Igbema, in Ohaji Igbema, yeah, if I'm correct, yeah. Ohaji Igbema, up until 3:30, 4 p.m., there were no signs of INEC officials. So I believe that polling units, they are part of the units that will be having their own casting their election the elections tomorrow. Then also at Akwakuma, the Federal Government College Akwakuma. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, Sophia.
Okay, yeah, okay. at Akwakwa College of Education already have 4 polling units. I believe the election too, they're still going to redo it tomorrow. So these are the 2 places I know that there were no INEC officials on ground to carry out the election. So hopefully they will have a redo of their own elections tomorrow, like I said.
Well, like you said, Sophia, hopefully the elections will continue just as the INEC chairman has promised. Please stay safe as you go about your duty. Thank you very much, Sophia, for your contribution. Well, it's a wrap on our election 2023 update. Thank you very much for watching. I am Simisola Ajigun. Bye for now.